From Cornwall to Birmingham and Johnston and Bexhill, here's Ruben Spar on the radio.
Yeah. Hello to the Weeping Willows. How are you today?
We're good, thanks, Ruben. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Thank you for letting me chat to you both today. So, can you tell me how did the Weeping Willows form? How do they come about?
I think maybe I should tell the story.
Yeah, we'll let Laura tell the story. She makes it sound more romantic.
So back, about 14 years ago now, a friend of mine invited me to a gig to see a band play, an alt country band play called Lachlan Bryan and the Wilds. And I didn't know anything about this band. I did know the lead singer from high school, but I didn't know anything about the music. Was kind of dragged along to this gig, not knowing anything about them. And then I saw the lead guitarist and I thought he was kind of cute. He was playing electric guitar.
It was a long time ago as well, Ruben.
And we just struck a conversation after the show. And from there, I actually joined that band, the alt country band. And then we sort of started this little more folky side project, which became more, I guess, dominant project of the Weeping Willows.
So, what was it like going into the recording studio when you very first recorded your debut album back in 2012 called Till the North Wind Blows?
Look, it was really, even though we sort of recorded stuff for other bands and bits and pieces in the past, I found it really quite overwhelming at first because when you're starting a new project and you're not quite sure, well, you're still sort of getting used to doing a different project and a very much like it's just the two of us, and my little acoustic guitar. So it was exciting, but also I found that first album really hard to do. What did you think?
Well, I guess for both of us, it was our first vocal project. And being a guitarist, I was a teacher, so I knew nothing about what I was doing, but it came together.
It came together. But yeah, I think as you grow and you learn, every album gets easier to go through that recording progress.
So I know there's quite a bit of gold in Australia. So can you tell me about the River of Gold?
River of Gold. So that song was from our second album, and that one, I guess, is a bit of a story of temptation. And we filmed a really fun video clip for that one down at a waterfall here in Victoria in Australia.
And it was summertime as well. It was really nice and warm.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, at the moment, it's really cold here. So, we certainly wouldn't record it right now.
No.
So, going to move on a couple of years now. So, can you tell me more about the single that is called Too Far to Go?
Too Far to Go is actually a song that we recorded with one of our very dear friends, Matt Joe Gow, who will also be at our Birmingham show at the wonderful Kitchen Garden Cafe in Kings Heath.
Love it.
So we've known Matt, oh gosh, I think I looked the other day that we did our first show with him about 7 years ago, and we just really struck up a friendship. And he had this new song that he really wanted to do with a female vocalist. He wanted some extra guitar on there as well. So Matt asked us to join him on that song, and it was a really fun project. It was actually just before the pandemic. So we recorded it, I think, February, and thankfully also did a video clip before lockdown so that we had something to release in May of 2020. And we were really proud of that song.
Can you still see me?
Yeah.
Yep.
So can you tell me, what was it like during that pandemic time as a duo back in Australia?
Look, it was, it was funny. We were talking about this the other day. It wasn't all bad. There was certainly a lot of disappointment, I think, for everyone because you couldn't go out and we couldn't tour, and we couldn't release our latest record and all that sort of stuff. But on the same token, it kind of forced us to think outside the normal routine and square of playing music. And we did online concerts
Live streams.
live streams, and we were learning songs and then sort of pre-recording them and putting them up on YouTube for people and Facebook and all that sort of stuff. So the extra time actually gave us the freedom, in a way, weird way, to do that stuff. Where if we were just running busy like we usually do, day jobs and touring and blah blah blah, that stuff would have never happened. So I kind of look at it that way. So it was, for me, disappointing, but also there was a lot of freedom to do things that I wouldn't have done.
We tried to make the most of the time.
Yeah.
So, can you tell me more about the album that is called Southern Gothic?
Southern Gothic was actually a project that we squeezed between our lockdowns. It was never a project that we had planned to do. Once again, the pandemic gave us that space to do it. It's basically a covers album. There are a couple of original songs on there, but over the years, a number of people have mentioned to us after the show, we really like your covers. We really like your choice of covers. So we thought, well, let's make the most this time. Let's record those covers that we do within our set. So things like CC Rider and One Kind Favor. But there's also an original instrumental called Southern Gothic, and also our Black Crow song on there. So we just used that very brief window that Melbourne had to get into the studio and record with one of our favourite engineers, Roger Bergadaz.
So, can you tell me about the single called The Bells Are Ringing in the Churchyard?
Yep. Yeah, that was a good one. We were very, very fortunate. We've got some dear friends and a fantastic Australian duo called Great Aunt. And Chelsea and Megan kindly lended their talents to that track. So it's actually in four-part harmony. So it was a first for us, wasn't it, to have that?
Yeah.
And a lot of fun to do. Always fun to play it live when the girls are available to play with us and sing with us. And it was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a fun project.
So, can you tell me more about your latest single called North Wind?
North Wind, that's an interesting question, actually. So anyone who has been following our journey knows that we have three, I guess, long plays, three original albums, and then we have Southern Gothic, the EP. And so the first album that we recorded back in 2012 was called Till the North Wind Blows, which is a line from the song North Wind. So North Wind is actually a song from our first album. But when we got to our third album, we kind of realized we had this accidental trilogy. So we thought, let's record a song from the first album, put it on the third album, but make it really difficult for ourselves and do it a cappella. And once again, it's a song about being on the road and longing to be on the road, but still missing the people that you love.
So, are you working on any new music in the near future?
Yeah, look, hopefully. We're just sort of chipping away with ideas, and as you do, and we'll definitely in the future look at recording them and getting them out there. But I think it's just finding the right songs to fit. That's the way we've always sort of approached it, is we find the right songs to fit a particular album, 10 tracks that actually flow together. So luckily we don't have the demands of a record company, so we can kind of take our time with it, which is good.
So, can you say more about your up-and-coming tour to the UK? Because I know you got some guest artists appearing on that tour coming very soon.
Yeah, so it's quite the extensive tour. We both have day jobs at schools. So when we have the chance to come over, we try and cram as many shows into that school holiday break as we can. So we're doing 18 shows in less than 3 weeks. And we start off by we're doing our first show is up in Newbold, and that's with the Rye Sisters, fantastic folk duo from up that way. Then after that, we're also playing in Sheffield with the wonderful banjo Jen, who we've played Maverick with before. She's sensational, lots of fun. So can't wait for that. After that, we're doing a show at the Bedford, which I've never played in London. Andrew has with Loch and Brian the Wilds. So I'm really excited because it looks really pretty. So looking forward to that one. That's with some local acts as well. Then two really exciting shows that we have. We're playing Band on the Wall and also Live Room Saltaire with Mark Radcliffe and David Bournemouth. very exciting. Obviously, Mark Radcliffe, very famous folk show.
Yes.
Also, David Boardman, together they're in Fine Lines, but they've done this sort of offshoot project together as sort of more of a folky acoustic. So very excited to join those two for that. Also playing our very first show in Wales, in Wrexham. So very excited about that at Magic Dragon. Gosh, where am I up to? For me, our first show in Scotland, again, Andrew's played there before, playing at the Glad Cafe. Heard lots about that. Very excited to see a lot of Scottish friends up there.
Yeah.
Then we're going back to Andy's homeland in Southport. His family's originally from up there, north of Liverpool. So we're doing a show at the Atkinson there, and that is with Over the Moon, who we actually met. Randomly, we met them in Kansas City, but they're from Canada. So it's a bit of a, meeting in the UK, which is very exciting because they're very, very talented. After that, 4th of July, we are down in, Bath. Again, I've heard wonderful things about Chapel Arts Bath. So very excited to play at that venue, a really beautiful, really lovely listening room. From there, we move on to Leamington Spa, playing at Temperance. Again, a lot of our friends have played before. A little room, I've heard, but a really beautiful room. So very much looking forward to that. Again, that's on our own. So please come on down. If you like folk and Americana music, come on down to Leamington Spa at Temperance. From there, we go back to Stables, which in Milton Keynes we did last year, and just loved it. Just loved the room, loved the people. So looking forward to going back there. Then we actually came up with Loch Bryan and the Wilds in Leicester at the Musician. Great venue. Once again, all the venues that we kind of liked last year, we decided to go back to. So we're doing that with Lachlan Bryan, the Wilds, and Riley Catherall. Then Birmingham.
Yay.
Once again, we love Birmingham.
Love Birmingham.
One of our favorite places. And we played, gosh, how many times have we played Kitchen Garden?
Is this the 4th time? 3rd time?
It's the 3rd or 4th time. It's kind of the gig I always book first because I love it so much. So looking forward to going back there once again with Macho Gow from Australia. Well, he's actually a Kiwi. He's from New Zealand originally, but we're claiming him as Australian now. Sensational artist. So that'll be a great gig. Come on down. Then we head on down a little bit further south, Tunbridge Wells, the Grey Lady. We've just learnt the lineup from that one. I need to look up who it is, but that's going to be a big group of family and friends.
Yeah,
even a guest appearance by some of Andrew's family at the Grey Lady in Tunbridge Wells. So that's going to be lots of fun. Gosh, last gig is at Ace Space with the beautiful Tomorrow Bird.
Great experience tour.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous humans and incredibly talented musicians. And so it's as I said, it's jam-packed. It's 18 shows in less than 3 weeks. Really excited about all the people that we get to meet and play with over there because we've just had so many great times. Beautiful people.
So can you tell me, what's it like being independent artists for you both?
What's it like? I like the freedom.
Yeah.
Do you agree, Laura?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's good that you can, basically just be creative. And as we were saying before, there's no sort of pressure to release things at a certain time, a certain year, and a certain month or whatever. So you can kind of take your time and go, well, this is what I think is a good collection of songs, and I'll release them now. So I think there's a lot of really positive, especially in this world, modern day world of social media and fantastic radio shows and online radio and stuff like that. So that's a good thing. I guess the downside is there's no one giving you a budget to work with. The budget is you, and as Laura said, we have day jobs, and the day jobs pay for us to travel and pay for us to record albums and pay for publicity and stuff like that. So look, there's pros and cons, but I think there's a lot more pros and cons.
I agree.
Yeah.
So finally, can you tell me, listeners, where can they find you on your social media?
Gosh, we're all over the socials. So I guess facebook.com/The Weeping Willows, Instagram, instagram.com/The Weeping Willows, Twitter, slightly different. Our handle is @Weeping Willows, drop the G for Twitter. On YouTube, you can find us just The Weeping Willows Duo, I guess they're the main.
They're the main ones.
They're the main ones. Please do come say hi, like, subscribe, all those important things. The more, the merrier. Again, as independent artists, all those things really help.
So thank you. Let me chat to you both today.
Thank you so much, Ruben. So lovely to
Thank
meet
you so much, Ruben. Really appreciate all your all the support, and it's really fantastic.
Enjoy your tour when we can come over to the UK.
We'll look forward to seeing you there.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Take care.
You
Bye.
too. Take care.
Goodbye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.